The reason why we talk about needs is important, not just from a consumer perspective, but from the brand's perspective, because actually what we know is delivering on these needs actually builds brands. So what we do within the survey is we don't just ask what the consumer wants from a brand, we also start to understand actually what the value of those experiences, what the value of those needs are to the brands themselves. And actually it's the combination of those two things. It's finding the place where the experience fits a consumer need but also meets a brand objective. That's actually something we call the value exchange, and actually that becomes the heart of all our communication, almost like a rallying point for all of our thinking. So what we're able to do is not just look at those consumer needs and understand what the needs are, we understand what their value is. So for example, I mean, and this is just looking at some of the data across our survey, we know that diversion, for example, in the gaming industry, is really powerful for creating desirability. So actually, you know, if you're Xbox and you're creating really entertaining content that entertains the consumer, that makes the brand look much more desirable. Recognition, I mean, recognition is a really powerful social experience. And actually we know across lots of categories like mobile phones, for example, that actually if you just listen to the consumer, listen to their issues and problems and actually respond to them, they will feel much more likely to feel valued by you. They will feel much more likely to be loyal towards you as a brand. So that simple idea of just recognizing the consumer and understanding what their challenges and problems are and just simply responding to them, all of a sudden creates a much closer relationship between you, and they will feel much more loyal and valued. Progression is a really interesting one, because progression is really an enabling need state. It's something actually that people really value. So in other words, if you teach someone something new about your category, or it could even be, you know, in the professional space about their role and about their job, all of a sudden they will want to spend more time with you as a brand because you give them real value. So actually, if you want to create a longer term relationship with the consumer and get them to spend more time with you, that idea of progression and teaching means that they will keep coming back to you. And again, that builds that relationship. And then relationship. So as we talked about in South Africa, that's a really key thing. The key thing about relationship is consumers want to connect with other people. And actually, if the brand enables that experience, if it enables you to connect with other people around your passion, then that will actually is great at driving word of mouth. By definition, the fact that the brand is enabling people to contact each other through a shared passion, they will automatically talk about your brand. They will automatically start to recommend that brand because it's enabling that behavior. And then the last one is learning. Learning is a great tool for driving sales. So teaching people about your products, teaching people about the category, getting them to understand what it is about your product that you know is of real value to them is great at driving sales. So the interesting thing for us is not just thinking about needs from a consumer perspective, but understanding the power of needs from a brand perspective. And actually what we can understand is we can find the sweet spot where those two meet. We can start to build really compelling social experiences. So the report has been developed for UM, and it's proprietary for UM. So we use it every day on our planning and our thinking. So a lot of our strategic thinking and a lot of our consumer insight comes from using this study and understanding what the consumer does. So for our clients, obviously that data is already accessible. But the other thing that we do with Wave is we're also very keen for us to really get people to stop thinking just about social media in terms of the broad numbers and how fast it's growing, but really understand what's going on. So actually what we do with that is we share a lot of our kind of top line insights, and all our reports are shared on our umww.com website. So anybody can go and look at the kind of top line insights for that as well. But actually the real value of Wave is when we're applying it to specific target audiences and specific categories. and talking about specific campaigns and specific brand objectives. And actually that's when the opportunity is for us to work together, work through the insights and start building the strategy. And the way to do that is, if you're interested and you want to find out more information and you want to understand what it actually means for you and your brand, then please reach out to the UM team in Joburg and we'll be happy to help you.